Hi, everybody. I'm Shawn Adams.
I'm Tony Gaglione.
This is Smacktalk.
We're at Sego's 4790 South Fort Apache. It is a kind of a slow night, but we're going to have a little fun and talk some smack about some sports
First, we
here.
got a public service announcement. August 11th, 2 weeks from today.
Public service.
Public service announcement. We're having a draft party live here at Sago's.
Beep, boop, beep.
Yeah, football time's
Yeah, it's
coming.
coming.
We've only got like 48 days until the NFL season kicks off.
I know this is a Chicago bar, so if you're a Bears fan, it's time to watch Jay Cutler throw
sorry.
4
I'm
interceptions
sorry.
per game.
I'm sorry.
Get excited.
I'm sorry.
Get excited. Here it comes.
All right, so we're going to start out. There's something that happened. All right, so first thing, the United States crashed out of the Gold Cup. They lost to Jamaica. Then they lost to
That was-
Panama in the third place
Oh, my
game. It
God.
was horrible.
Terrible.
Jurgen Klinsmann, that's the problem he plays with tinkering. He's going to lose games that he shouldn't.
Look, he already knows that he won the last Gold Cup, so he goes into the playoff with Mexico.
He has a
for-
one-game
one-game
playoff with Mexico. For
So,
the Confed
you
Cup.
know what? I'm not going to blame him for what he did. I think it's a smart move taking the younger players and see what they can do.
Yeah, exactly. So
It's not that big of a deal.
Zardes
Yeah,
from the Galaxy looks really good.
he does. There's a couple players that were on that team that should not
No,
be
definitely
there.
not.
I don't even think they should be starting for their MLS team.
No, definitely not.
Rather than a couple. I mean, it was sad to watch this team at times.
Yeah.
The passing, the just the overall chemistry together, because if you know soccer, you just have to know your place. You have to know your triangle passing, and they're way out of place.
Yeah.
Way out of place.
So Mexico went on to the Gold Cup, and they beat Jamaica in the final. It was a close game at one point. Then Mexico turned it on. But Mexico coach Miguel Herrera,
Beat the living hell.
he got into it with a reporter after the game. Now people can say what they want. Now it's got to get on coach for losing his cool, but the reporter definitely was provoking. Called it the Copa something.
No, that wasn't it. I'm gonna get into that. The reporter basically said that his intensity was by beating Jamaica was uncalled for because he's playing Jamaica.
Yeah.
Which is, excuse
a
my
Gold Cup
French, it's
final.
bullshit.
Yeah, it's Gold
Okay.
Cup final.
So Jamaica is an up-and-coming team.
Yeah, definitely looks really good.
And at 22-1 to win the Gold Cup was a huge underdog.
Yeah.
However, those odds had nothing to do with the way they played.
No.
Whatsoever. So we got on them for beating Jamaica and being so amped and intense about beating Jamaica, but you win a Gold Cup final.
Yeah.
That's a huge tournament.
That's a trophy for your national team.
Exactly. And you have to be intense about it. You have to be excited about it. The only problem is that the reporter was being basically a
An
douche
ass.
about it.
Being an ass about it. Yeah.
And so he got hit for it, basically.
You got it. And then so today, Mexico announced that they have fired Coach Miguel Herrera. They will be looking for coaches in the interim. If you're going to fire somebody, now's the time to do it because club seasons are about to start.
Yeah.
And you've got a good 2 months before the first international break.
I don't think they should have fired him. I think a suspension was in order. I don't think a firing was in order. But
Here's the thing about Mexico.
it
though.
is what it is.
Mexico coaches are always under the gun. They're
expected
expected
to
win
everything.
Yeah, because it's Mexico.
And they're expected
So
to.
they
I
have
mean,
soccer
if
and
you're a championship team, you're expected to act with class also. So
yeah, and
he didn't act with class.
Yeah, but the thing is you know what? Hey, if you're a reporter, you're gonna get punched in the mouth if you step out of line. That's how I feel. And,
Dude, honestly,
props to Miguel Herrera. I would support.
I'd take a
Jurgen
shot
Klinsmann,
if I was going to come
hire
up to him and be like, "Oh, you beat Jamaica. It's not that big of a deal, man. Why you?" I wouldn't ask those questions first of all. But if you step out of line like this reporter did, then you deserve what you got.
All right, club soccer. The Community Shield is Sunday. Chelsea versus Arsenal. Last year's FA Cup winner versus last year's league winner.
Chelsea wins.
That's cool. You can say that all you want. Arsenal won the League Cup or the Community Shield last year. Arsenal's looking for a preseason treble of silverware. They won the Emirates Cup.
Lovely.
They won the Emirates Cup. They won the
What
Barclays
what
Asia
does
Trophy.
preseason trophies mean? Jack shit.
Absolutely nothing.
Jack shit.
But it'll be interesting to see. The Chelsea is the hands-down favorite for winning the league. The odds are ridiculous.
What's crazy to me is that Manchester City is actually plus money. That bothers
They're
me.
basically 2-1. 2-1.
They're 2-1, but if you throw 100, you're going to win 200 plus money. So, I mean, that's a good bet in my eyes. 4-1 on Manchester United.
Yep.
A team that signed a hell of a lot of players and are not done.
They are number 1 on the net spend and net buy list.
Okay, well, that means that they're loading up. They're ready to go.
If they don't win the championship,
It's a bust.
Title,
It's championship or bust. And I'm going to go with the same thing for Arsenal. Just because, not on the net spend buy, whatever, but because of your players that you're homegrown, and you're sticking with and you're not spending money on players
got Peter
because
Cech.
you think that these players should be there, it's championship or bust.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Here's the thing.
You don't stick with players for 6, 7, 8 years and then expect a mid-table.
They're not. They've never finished mid-table.
I'm just saying.
Here's the thing.
You want a championship.
They announced they got $200 million in the bank that they could spend,
but they
won't.
Not
hurt.
It's Arsene Wenger.
It's Arsene Wenger. But here's the thing. Arsene Wenger makes a good point though. He said that he would only buy players if he felt that they were going to upgrade his team. He went out and got Peter Cech. Chesney's down to Roma on loan. That's an upgrade at the position. Center striker, Karim Benzema, Fernando Llorente, Lewandowski.
They haven't signed yet. These are all rumors.
But I'm saying those are upgrades at the front position. Theo Walcott's going to play a center striker role. You got Welbeck. You got Sanchez. You got Giroud. You got players. You're right. Arsenal.
You have an injury-prone Jack Wilshere. That's the problem for me. I saw him play in a preseason game that we watched together. We didn't watch it together, but you were watching it at home. I was watching it at home. We were texting each other. You know the way it goes. Dude grabbed his calf 5 minutes into being subbed. The same injury to the same leg that he got last year. Yeah. I mean, you have to watch out for this kind of stuff. And when you lose a player the caliber of Jack Wilshere, that ruins a whole season.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not going to say that because midfield, we're stronger in the midfield than any other team in the EPL.
You are losing your goddamn mind if you think that.
We got Ozil, you got Ramsey, you've got Sanchez could play the midfield, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Theo played in the midfield.
Okay, but you're talking about players that want to switch and things like that. Yeah, Theo, you want to play Theo up front. So therefore, you're not going to Wenger wants to play Theo up front. Yeah. Wenger wants to play Ox up
Aaron
front.
Ramsey and Ozil
He's not stupid.
Players.
He knows the fast two guys need to play up front.
Yeah.
Very smart. It's the way to go. Either way, when you start losing midfielders and you have to take away from your striking to move them back to midfield.
Thomas Rosicky.
Yeah, okay.
Mikel
Bastian
Arteta.
Schweinsteiger, Morgan Schneiderlin, Daley Blind.
These guys are garbage. Who are you talking about?
Are you serious? We have
Daley
the best.
Blind. Okay.
Manchester United has the best midfield in the EPL, without a doubt.
No, you don't.
Okay, this is an argument that is not going to be settled until EPL season starts.
By the way,
so let's
Tony
move on.
is currently owing me $40. We're going double or nothing for the season. He has lost two $20 bets in a row.
Yeah.
With Arsenal finishing above Manchester United, he's going
because
double or
we
nothing.
had who is a coach?
Yeah, David Moyes 1 year and Van Gaal last year. So hey.
So Van Gaal's first year and David Moyes, who should never have been hired to Manchester United.
Okay, so Manchester United news: they sold Robin van Persie.
Shocking.
I seen a analytics.
He's only going to score like 10 goals at Fenerbahce.
Here's the thing.
Not even going to be that big of a deal.
I don't even know if he'll do that. I seen an analytics thing. They showed his performance analytics, like where they track how far they run. He went like this with the injuries, and then peaked at Arsenal, got sold to Man United.
Well, he had a plain year at Man United and then dropped.
Yeah. No, he scored 20 goals for Man United.
Yeah, that plain year.
Yeah.
The year after, he was a leading goal scorer for Arsenal.
Yeah, he leveled off and then whoop.
Yeah, and then dropped off.
So Manchester United very smart.
I think Liverpool and Tottenham, I think they're in the right spot.
No, they're not.
Betting.
Okay, look, there's no title challenge.
Dude, there's
no title challenge from Liverpool or Tottenham.
I'm not saying it is, but as far as odds go and the order of the positions, 5 and 6 is probably the way to go for Liverpool and Tottenham.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Southampton is up too high. They're going to be in Europa League.
Way too high.
They're going to be up in Europa League. We watched Swansea do it. Swansea had a solid team.
Once you add games to the schedule, it becomes very difficult to stay fit. It becomes very difficult to stay healthy.
Yeah, league form suffers.
It's very tough with the EPL. With other leagues like La Liga, it's a lot easier because the games are more spread apart. With EPL, you're playing back-to-back games, so that kind of stuff.
Here's the thing. Everton, it's Roberto Martinez make or break year. This is going to determine is he a good coach or not because he's got a team. He's had a team. He's built his players. He's got his roster together. If Everton does not do better than what David Moyes used to do with them, Roberto Martinez needs to be fired.
I want two things before we get the hell out of soccer because I don't want to talk about soccer anymore.
Okay.
I want your surprise team and your disappointment team.
Okay, my surprise team is going to be Crystal Palace.
Alan
Pardew is a great coach. They've bought players. They broke the transfer record twice. They got Johan Caballé back. Who used to play at Newcastle for Pardew, went to PSG.
Sure. France International.
France International. So Pardew's a great coach. Newcastle was in 9th place last year when they fired him. They finished at the bottom of the table without him. So
yeah,
just going to show you his coaching.
Well, Crystal Palace moved
relegating.
up. Yeah.
They were going to get relegated. They got Pardew. They survived.
I'm going to go with Stoke City as a surprise team because they signed Shaqiri, which is a huge, huge signing for a team like that. They still have Mr. I'm 7'2".
Yeah, Peter Crouch.
Peter
Yeah,
Crouch.
Yeah, they got
and,
a lot of players.
They have God, what's
They
that?
got Charlie Adam,
Charlie Adam in the midfield from Liverpool.
Steven Nzonzi.
Steven Nzonzi. They have God, Ryan Shawcross.
Shawcross.
One of the best young defenders in the EPL.
Definitely. Actually, no, Shawcross is at Southampton now, just so you know.
Oh, well, that's awesome. My disappointment team is going to be Southampton because I said this last year, and it was my disappointment team last year because they let go of so many players.
Yeah.
And they still ended up being awesome. They're still my disappointment team this year.
My disappointment team is going to be Manchester City.
Not a chance. You're saying they're going to Europa?
Here's what I'm saying. I'm going to say that they are not going to look as good as they have.
They're going to Champions League, though.
They'll probably finish 4th.
They're going to Champions League.
But it's going to be a disappointment because they're going to lose games they shouldn't lose. Me and Tony are going to be secretly rooting for Norwich all season long.
Of course.
The Canaries.
Of course.
Let's move on. NFL football is about to start. We're going to have our draft party August 11th. The Tom Brady suspension was upheld today. The key piece of evidence at the Tom Brady suspension is that he destroyed his phone. He destroyed his phone. Okay, and then his excuse was, well, every time I get a new cell phone, I destroy my phone. But you didn't destroy the previous phone.
Let me tell you something. Every time I get a new cell phone, I sell it to somebody else, the old one. Or I trade it in for...
I have nude photos
or
on my
I trade
old
it in
one,
for
so
whatever. Like, you don't destroy your phone unless there's incriminating evidence, okay? Okay.
Exactly. Ask
let's just
Aaron
say,
Hernandez.
Okay, I'm going to keep myself out of this because my wife is sitting here. But let's say you had a girlfriend. And
You're getting yourself in a lot of trouble.
I'm just saying, let's say you had a girlfriend, okay? You have nude photos
Yep.
on your phone. You're about to get married. So what are you going to do with those new photos?
You get a new phone, and you
break the hell out of the old phone.
No. You hide it. Like
Whatever. That's what he's doing. He's hiding his incriminating evidence.
He knows.
By
He's in trouble.
breaking his phone.
So they're going to take They're going to take it to court.
That's my analogy. My wife knows the password to my phone. If you can't hear that. She's going to look through it later.
Did you check in the special folder? The folder that says special.
Special.
That's
special
the folder
folder.
you need to look at.
Yeah. That's where all the nude photos are. Okay.
So we're going to go with most yards passing. Andrew Luck is the heavy favorite. Drew Brees right behind him.
I'm not going to think Drew Brees is. Drew Brees shouldn't be anywhere near the top right now as he's getting older.
The top
should be
Aaron Rodgers, Andrew Luck, Matt Ryan, Eli Manning as far as yardage goes.
No, I'm not going to go with Matt Ryan either. I think Phillip Rivers is going to have a up year because he has those fluctuation years. I think Roethlisberger's going to have an up year because he has those fluctuation years. I think Tony Romo,
almost 5,000 yards
Tony Romo
last year.
without DeMarco Murray is going to have a big freaking problem running the ball. So they're going to have to pass on 3rd and long.
They got Darren McFadden.
You're going to have an argument with Derek McFadden?
I just said they got.
That's your argument.
That's
your running game. Darren McFadden. What did he do with the Raiders the last?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Okay, so that's your argument. He did absolutely nothing.
It's the Raiders.
But I'm still going to argue.
Line. The Cowboys have one of the best young offensive lines in the NFL.
Derek Carr is going to have more yards than Ben Roethlisberger this year.
No, he's not.
Derek Carr is going to be an all-pro quarterback.
Most rushing yards, Adrian Peterson is leading the league. I'm just going to say hands down, give it to him right now. It'll probably be Adrian Peterson, Jamal Charles. Adrian Peterson is a beast. How are you going to hate on all day?
I don't care. He's 30-plus years old. He's going to take the hits. He's not going to run as much. LaShawn McCoy in the Rex Ryan system at Buffalo is going to take the rushing title, without a doubt.
Nope.
Arian Foster should not be in the top 3. This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. Jamal Charles should not be in the top 3.
Jamal Charles is a beast, man.
He's a beast. DeMarco Murray, this is okay for me.
No, it's
not. Because there's going to be a lot of pitches, a lot of back bullshit in the Chip Kelly offense. So give DeMarco Murray a little credit.
You're going to be splitting carries with Darren Sproles and the Chargers guy.
Darren Sproles.
Who's the guy that they got from the Chargers? The Eagles also got
Ryan Matthews.
So Murray also had over 328 carries last year. No back has ever broke the 1,000-yard mark after having over 320 carries in a season. It's not going to happen. DeMarco Murray should not be on that list.
I'm down with Marshawn Lynch. I'm down with Eddie Lacy. I am terrible on Justin Forsett. That is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's the Ravens. They run the ball a lot.
Matt Forte is going to have almost 600 yards more than Justin Forsett. I'm just going to say that right now.
All right.
Most TDs scored.
Most TDs scored. You know, I hate to say this, but
I think it's right.
You think it's right?
I think it's absolutely right. Because when you get the ball inside the 25 as Minnesota Vikings offense, you have to hand the ball off to Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, no, I got you, but I think somebody
just so people who don't know, I mean, people who are watching this on YouTube or whatever, Most touchdowns scored have Adrian Peterson, Marshawn Lynch, Calvin Johnson, then Des Bryant. Now, Calvin Johnson should be up there. Des Bryant should not. With the offensive firepower they have all around, Des Bryant is not the number one go-to guy as far as touchdowns scored. Adrian Peterson should be there. Marshawn Lynch, you should have added one more touchdown on his list last year if they would have ran the ball in the Super Bowl, but we all saw that happen.
Did you see the Madden?
Yeah, the halfback dive where everything was a halfback
it's like,
dive.
What does a player got to do to get 99 trucking? Maybe one of these would have helped.
Arian Foster there, who has Brian Hoyer as his quarterback.
Yeah,
so
I think a person that is going to maybe not be at the top, but is definitely at the bottom of this list is Alfred Morris.
No, I'm not going to go with anything that has to do with Washington Redskins whatsoever.
Please don't say that term. That is not their name.
The Washington Indians.
Exactly.
The most reception yards. I'm going to go with Calvin Johnson 5-1. That's
Brown.
Cool. That's cool. Antonio Brown. That's cool. He's a deep threat. Yeah. Denarius Thomas. I like it just because they lost Julius Thomas to the Jacksonville Jaguars at the tight end position. Yeah. Wes Welker's not there anymore.
A.J. Green deserves to be up there because he's going to be in a contract year, so you know his numbers are going to be inflated.
Yeah, T.Y. Hilton is there just because he plays for the Indianapolis Colts. I don't like it.
I think
Julius Jones, that is stupid.
Julio Jones?
They still
Julio Jones.
Oh, yeah, Julio Jones. I'm sorry. You still know they have Roddy White, right?
Yeah. So there's somebody on this list that I think is going to get Rookie of the Year. Just so you know, because you talked about the quarterback having more yards than Roethlisberger. I will tell you that Amari Cooper is going to light up the NFL.
Okay.
With Derek Carr as his quarterback.
So basically, you just reiterated what I said about how Derek
yardage.
Carr is going to be an awesome quarterback.
Just like Odell Beckham lit it up
cool.
last year. Eli Manning wasn't anywhere
Odell
near the
Beckham's
top.
going to be great. I think that with the loss of Brandon Marshall, Alshon Jeffrey should be higher on this list.
Yeah, he's about where he
should be above. No, I think it should be above Jordy Nelson because they have Randall Cobb. You have a double head wide receiver crew.
Man. Don't hate on the white people.
I'm sorry. Dude, I have
to. It's like the only white receiver on that list.
Okay, just like in basketball, bro. The white people shoot three-pointers. We went through this. They don't drive the lane. Me and Dupree saw the summer league the other day. I said, white people, he's standing outside the lane. And look, we watched him, and what did he do, Dupree? Stood outside the key.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He didn't drive the lane.
Yeah, of course.
And every time he got the damn ball, he passed it.
All right.
Or shot
let's
a three.
Move on. Let's move on to baseball. There's some news in baseball. Woke up this morning. Tony texted me. I'm at work. Troy Tulowitzki to the Blue Jays for Jose Reyes and 3 minor leaguers.
It's an even trade as far as financial goes because they're both owed a shit ton of money.
But it's upgrade as far as
it's a hell of an upgrade
skill.
as far as the Blue Jays go because Tulowitzki is the best shortstop in the league, in my opinion.
Yes.
And he's the best hitting shortstop in the league right now. Jose Reyes is a terrible hitting shortstop. Is he one of the best defensive shortstops? Hell yes,
and a great leadoff guy.
Hell yes, he is.
Gets the walks.
Yeah, and he's fast, so he can steal bases. Tulowitzki can't steal bases. He hits third or he hits fifth, whatever. Tulowitzki is in a lineup where they don't need to steal bases.
No,
Tulowitzki plays with Encarnacion. He plays with Bautista. He plays with players that hit home runs. It's a big-time lineup, and I think if they get their pitching in order, which they won't, but if they get their pitching in order, that's a playoff team.
Trade deadline is Friday. Cincinnati traded Johnny Cueto to the Royals. Ben Zobrist from Oakland to the Royals. Royals are definitely loading up for October.
They're loading up for October. The only problem is that they're a small market team, so these players that you see now will not be there next year.
That's right.
And I don't think that they have the pitching to make it to another World Series as they did last year. There's a lot of teams coming up. I'm not going to mention my own. I'm not going to be biased. Yeah. There's a lot of teams that come up right now in the American League that are going to take over that people are going to be shocked about when it comes to playoff time.
Here's the thing. I'm going to say this. Cincinnati made it to the playoffs one year. They had Edison Volquez and Johnny Cueto as their 1-2. They crashed out in the wild card round. Those same 2 players are now pitchers for the Royals. I will give credit to the Royals for being here where they are right now because last year, after the World Series, I was one of them that said they were going to dismantle the team. They got rid of Shields, who's tanked in San Diego.
Terrible in San Diego.
They made a lot of
moves.
moves.
You know what? Every player that's gone to San Diego from other teams have tanked there. Matt Kemp.
Yeah.
Awful in San Diego.
Yeah.
I mean, but you got to look at Petco Park. The center field, I mean, we've actually walked into Petco Park, me and my wife here on our honeymoon, have looked in center field. You can't watch a game from center field. It's so damn far away. It's like 430 feet away from home plate. It's insane. So if you're a home run hitter in Petco Park, you're hitting doubles.
Okay. People that are on the block, Yoenis Cespedes and David Price are the Tigers because the Tigers are not in the playoffs. and they're trying to offload that money.
They're not trying to offload, I don't think. I think David Dombrowski's smart enough to know that he should keep these players. The only player that he should get rid of is David Price, because he's not going to be there next year no matter what.
No matter what.
I think you want a Cespedes with a 2-year contract. He should stay and see how it plays out next year. David Price should go.
Yasiel Puig is on the block for the
Yasiel
Dodgers.
Puig is on the block because he's an asshole.
Because he's a Cuban defector.
He's an asshole. Okay, this guy shows up late to batting practice. This
Yeah.
guy shows up late to team meetings. He has a sense of entitlement that thinks he's the greatest player in baseball, and
He's
he
not.
has so much to learn about the game that it's insane.
I will tell you, Cole Hamill of the Phillies has increased his stock playing for the worst team in baseball.
Increased his stock. He just threw a no-hitter
No,
against the Chicago
but
Cubs.
he pitches on the worst team in baseball, but he's having a great year. 2 years
When you
ago,
have more wins than losses on the last place team, you're doing something correct.
well, the thing is like 2 years ago, Cole Hamill's coming off that injury. He wasn't good for the last 2 years, but people knew that his stuff was still there. He was just rehabilitating. You know, it's hard when you have a shoulder injury as a pitcher. It's hard to get back.
Sure.
And now that he's back, he's the pitcher that took that Phillies team to the World Series 2 straight years in a row.
Sure. Let's talk about.
I think
pitchers, they're a
I
product.
think the Astros need to move for Hamels.
I think it's a good
Kuchel
pick.
and Hamels would be a 1-2.
I think that or the Chicago Cubs would be the best place for him. It's a National League
the
squad.
team that he just no hit.
You don't. Yeah, exactly. You don't. How much of an audition is that? You know what I'm saying? But as far as pitchers go, they're all products of systems. You can have a 12-13 or 12-14 record with a 1.4 ERA.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you look at Jeff Samardzija playing for the Chicago Cubs last year. Terrible record,
But a
great
ERA.
ERA.
Playing
Moved
for
to
the White
Oakland.
Sox.
Moved to Oakland.
Yeah, well, now he's at the White Sox.
Playing awesome last year in the playoffs, whatever. Moved to Chicago White Sox. Now all of a sudden they got the second best pitching staff in the American League.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All right.
So
here
it
we
is
go.
what it
Odds
is.
to win the NL pennant. Dodgers are basically 4-1. The Nationals are basically 3-1.
the Dodgers are the San Jose Sharks of the MLB.
Yeah.
They are the choke artists of the MLB. They will not win
Here's
the
the
NL
thing.
pennant.
The Cardinals are a 3-1.
The Cardinals
The
are.
Pirates are 9-2. I like every team at the top 5 of that list except for the Dodgers.
I love the Cardinals. You always have to love the Cardinals
Yeah.
because they're a team that gets it done in October.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
The Nationals, I think they should not be on this list.
I think they're going
A
to be
lot
I
of
think they're gonna
hype
be in the-
for a lot of nothing.
Well, I think with the rotation they have with Scherzer,
Zimmerman.
They got Gio Gonzalez
Oh,
Gonzalez.
Bryce Harper, Las
Bryce
Vegas boy.
Harper,
You have
Jason
to mention
Worth.
Bryce Harper.
Yeah, they got Strasburg. They got a decent.
Strasburg is injured, making a rehab start in AAA this week.
Yeah, but he'll be back for October.
He'll be back for October. The problem is that since his first year, when he was striking the hell out of everybody out,
pitch the innings
he
limit.
has pitched terrible.
Yeah.
And they put him on a lockdown last year
Yeah.
when it got to the playoffs, and they shut him down, which was the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. Because you take your best pitcher and you're saying, hey, you
Innings
can't play in the playoffs.
Yeah,
you know what I
that
mean?
sucks,
Like,
yeah.
that's just dumb.
Yeah.
This year, he's injured again. He's not going to come back with the same 101-mile-an-hour fastball that
definitely
you
not.
see every week. So
All right, American League pennant. The Angels are 6-1. That's a really good bet because they are one of the hottest teams in baseball. The
Yeah.
Royals are 2-1. They're basically saying the Royals are the favorite in the American League. I don't like saying that because when you get to the playoffs, anything can happen. The Astros 7-1. The White Sox at 35-1 now.
this is a bet.
That's value. You put $10
You wanna make
on the
money.
White Sox. You put $10 on the White Sox.
You know, I wasn't going to say a word because I didn't want to hear the ridicule from you.
No,
Okay?
I'm just saying that's a value bet.
It's a value bet because you're talking about a team.
They
and
have the
you
same
have to
odds
give
as
me
the
a minute now
Athletics.
because now we're talking
They
about
have
my
the
home,
same odds as the Athletics.
a
The
last
Athletics
place
are
team,
worse.
a last place team.
Horrible.
So let's give me a minute because I'm biased towards the White Sox. So you
Oh
have to
my
let me
God.
speak. Second best ERA in all of baseball. First best ERA in the American League. Now you have had a team with Melky Cabrera, Jose Abreu, the last year's Rookie of the Year, who hasn't hit well.
No.
Now
Not
all
at
of a sudden they're hitting. They've
fair.
put up 19 runs in 2 games
Oh,
against the
the
Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, the Red Sox suck. They suck.
They've won 6 in a row, and they're only 3.5 out of the wild card right now.
I'll tell you what, if Chicago is going to make the playoffs, you will see a move for somebody in the bullpen because they need a middle reliever. Their setup guy, their
big
closer,
time
they
middle
need
reliever.
need a middle reliever because as you noticed in that game yesterday against Boston, their middle relief was tired from the previous trip.
Jake Patricia.
They gave
Zach
up.
Duke,
They
those
gave up. They were
guys,
up 4-0 in the beginning of the game. I think the game ended 9-7 because the
10
middle
to 7,
relief,
yeah. 10 to
the
8
mid-
actually.
the middle relief gave it up.
But you got to give it up to starting pitching. 7+ innings in the last 12 consecutive games.
That's good.
That saves your bullpen, number one. And they have one of the best closers in the MLB in David
The
Robertson.
Rangers.
I like the Rangers just because of the offensive firepower.
The Rangers are definitely a team.
They don't have pitching.
So I'm going to tell you the American League wild card chase is going to be more exciting than the first round of the playoffs.
I like it.
Because just in the American League, you got teams like your White Sox, my Twins, right? You got the Astros.
You have
the
to put
Rangers,
the Blue Jays in there now with Tulowitzki.
the Rangers, the Astros, the Blue Jays. The Orioles are still around.
I have to say, though, the Dodgers, biggest choke artists in all of baseball. The San Jose Sharks of the MLB. So they will make the playoffs.
Here.
They will make the playoffs, but will they make a World Series? No.
Huh.
So, don't put your money on the Los Angeles Dodgers this season.
All righty.
We're 3.5 out of the wild card, just so you know.
That's it for Smack Talk. I'm not going to go over the odds of NHL hockey because it's ways away. I'm Shawn Adams.
Tony Gaglione. We'll be back maybe.
Maybe
For segment 2.
Maybe. Probably not.
Needing a drink or two. Have a good night. Segos, 4790 South Port Apache. Thank you.